Sydney, the largest festival of light, music and ideas in the Southern Hemisphere, will ignite the harbour city this winter from Friday 24th of May until Saturday 15th of June this year. It enters a new decade of innovation and creativity with an inspiring and star-studded program of events. Vivid Sydney is owned, managed and produced by Destination New South Wales, the New South Wales Government's tourism and major events agency. Last year, it attracted over 2 million attendees and delivering over 170 million Aussie dollars in visitor expenditures into the NSW economy. In a partnership first, Vivid Light will partner with Academy Award-winning Pixar Animation Studios and will illuminate a series of Sydney's heritage-listed areas. Vivid Sydney roars to life again at Taronga Zoo in 2019, shining a light on the wonders of wildlife and endangered animals. As visitors wander through Taronga's iconic harbourfront location, they will encounter multicolored elephants, giant bees, lions and tigers and bears and many more fascinating fluorescent installations. The brilliantly lit sculptures are all inspired by the zoo's commitment to endangered species in Australia and around the world, and visitors of all ages are sure to delight in the colourful, energizing displays.
We are super excited to be part of Vivid Sydney at Taronga Zoo this year. We've been working on every festival in different ways, making different work, but this is such a big achievement and such a big crew that works on it, so we love working on Vivid Sydney. My favourite Taronga animal light sculptures this year would be the tiger cubs, because we have 3 new real tiger cubs and tigers are so endangered in the wild. This gorgeous koala behind me and our lion family, but we have over 80 creatures in the zoo this year, so they're all my favourites and there's many of them. The conservation message is so important, the creatures are so beautiful, and there's just a perfect balance between those two things, I suppose, of creating something that people like to look at as well as has an important message that everyone can relate to and get behind.
But it is this year's new lanterns that are expected to have children squealing with delight. A trio of playful Sumatran tiger cubs have been introduced to celebrate the birth of Taronga's 3 new tiger cubs, Mawar, Tengah Malam and Pemanah. New lions will take pride of place deep in the heart of the zoo, while a sentinel koala watches on as the city transforms each night into a vibrant hub of light and colour. Picture postcard moments abound throughout this family-friendly precinct, where fun and wonder are the key components of one of Vivid Sydney's most popular attractions. Multi-award-winning animated short film favourite, reimagined as an amazing 270-degree cinema experience, is present at the Taronga Centenary Theatre.
So this year there are of course some great new lanterns and surprises for people in store. On arrival there are 3 Sumatran tiger cubs, obviously a gesture towards the 3 Sumatran tiger cubs that we welcomed here earlier this year, and they're sure to captivate people just as much. Further down the hill, a pride of lions is ready and waiting, and overlooking the harbour, the charismatic koala, the icon of the Aussie bush, there to remind people that we need to be thinking about our wildlife closer to home as well as overseas. But it's not just about the new, it's about the combination of all of the different lanterns that we've built up over the last 4 years of doing Lights for the Wild and being part of Vivid Sydney. And together they really do create an amazing hour-and-a-half wonder through the zoo like you've never seen it before. There's a sort of magic here after dark, and with the lanterns lit and the projection show back on the outside of the Heritage Building this year, it really is a must-do family experience for Vivid Sydney this year. Lights for the Wild makes a huge contribution to Taronga Zoo's conservation efforts. It helps in many different ways. Most obviously, Taronga is a not-for-profit conservation organisation, so every ticket that's bought for people to visit Lights for the Wild at Taronga goes directly towards our conservation efforts. But more than that, by families and people coming here together and being amazed by the wonder of wildlife and celebrating all of the different animals we have here, will hopefully ignite in people a passion to protect wildlife and think about how their own actions can be changed in just everyday ways to create a better future for wildlife.
Well, my favourite ones have to be the echidna and probably the tiger cubs. I like the tiger cubs because they're rolling around and just playful and really playful. I've had so much fun, and I've had a lot of fun because there's been a lot of lights and colourful things, and I really like those things.
Take a mesmerizing light walk in the dazzling laser gardens throughout this iconic Sydney landmark. Taronga Zoo is not for profit, and all ticket proceeds go directly back into the work of conservation and wildlife care. And you can easily access the premises via a bus or ferry with services running regularly every day. The Royal Botanic Garden Sydney will come to life for this year's Vivid Sydney Festival with a gigantic glowing bee hotel, a field of mesmerizing fireflies and 2 teleportation gateways. 15 illuminated artworks that reflect light and nature will create a radiant outdoor gallery each night from May 24th until the 15th of June this year. Visitors can expect the unexpected when they enter through the Queen Elizabeth II gates into a world full of spellbinding, playful and informative installations.
Well, Vivid Sydney is just a simply extraordinary visitor economy injection into New South Wales. It generates over $170 million worth of investment in our state, and that comes from the back of over 2.2 million people coming through Sydney over the next 3 weeks. Well, the Royal Botanic Gardens is one of Sydney's most beautiful locations during the day, and it just becomes very special every night during Vivid. You'll see over 15 light installations ranging from the Harmony Tree, which is a great combination of music and light, through to the Firefly Field, where you've got the bugs floating through the field, looking like they're flying across the gardens, through to the retro satellite dish and even Beatopia. They're all great to have a look at. Well, this is a great way to showcase Sydney, and particularly in winter, where we really embrace the fact that the days are a little bit shorter, the nights are dark, and we bring light to the city with these fantastic light installations from Taronga Zoo right through to the Botanic Gardens and that dress circle that brings in those famous landmarks of Sydney that we all know and love.
KA3323, a retro-futuristic satellite dish that relies on sounds from outer space, is sure to delight visitors of all ages and is the brainchild of a father and son team from Western Sydney.
So this is KA3323. The idea behind it is you can move the joystick around and collect random signals from space and around the area, and and you can interact with the installation, and the lights will change around based on what you find. It's really awesome to be part of Vivid Sydney. It's just really exciting, and it's a really great opportunity that the government has provided for us as well. So it's really great to show off our projects and all the hard work that we've put through over the last 8 months.
There's also an attraction that is making a difference, that's shining a light on support on local wildlife, called Beatopia.
Beatopia is a little love project of mine. I designed it so it's an inclusive piece, so that it could be a fun thing for the visually impaired as well as the fully sighted. And I also wanted to send a really strong environmental message about supporting a habitat for our local native insects. It's extremely exciting for me to be part of Vivid Sydney. I think it's just wonderful that they've chosen fresh new artists that's up and coming on the scene to be involved in Vivid Sydney. It's just wonderful to see all of the other new artists here. It's an awesome area, the Botanic Gardens. It's got so many beautiful pieces as well.
Visitors can weave their way through giant blades of dancing grass, cruise along a river of light, or just marvel at an aerial ballet of 500 tiny light specks in the shimmering Firefly Field. On top of all that, you can grab a top spot to view the best of Vivid Sydney. If you thought exploring Vivid Sydney's 3-kilometer light walk on foot was the only way for you to be amazed by the creativity and the innovation of this year's installations, well, you can think again. There are an array of ways for you to explore the largest festival of light, music and ideas, and still ensure that you can capture the most social-worthy snaps along the way. You can dine up high and make the most of the restaurants with harbour views, and you'll be treated to a double whammy. Oba and Dining is a revolving restaurant that boasts 360-degree views from 47 stories up. You can also enjoy the Samsung Electronic Playground that offers some of the best vantage points for you to take some pictures of Vivid Sydney's magic. Be a part of the experience and join the Bridge Climb Sydney as they offer amazing experience at any time of the year, but doing so during Vivid Sydney adds another dimension altogether. Not only do you have uninterrupted views of the Sydney Opera House, you can look down and see the light installations play out right before you. Another element of Vivid Sydney is Vivid Ideas 2019 program, where you can join the debate, ask probing questions, and learn practical skills while being inspired. Vivid Ideas is set to bring 23 days and nights of bold, future-facing talks, hands-on workshops, and industry-shaping forums from the 24th of May until the 15th of June this year as part of Vivid Sydney. This year, leading thinkers, creators and innovators across the tech, design and culture spectrums will take a closer look at how technology is connecting and disconnecting society and delve deeper into the meaning of love, loneliness and belonging in our fast-paced, ever-connecting lives. Vivid Sydney runs from May 24th until June 15th. Join me on the show Arrivals as we explore and enjoy all the sights we can get from Vivid Sydney as we travel to Sydney, Australia and see for ourselves what the experience can be.